Hello everyone. Before we begin our color family value scale, we're just going to do a quick review of the assignment as well as the color theory vocabulary that we covered in our colored pencil project. For this assignment, you're going to need to create 3 value scales, 2 analogous and 1 monochromatic. Just a quick review. Analogous are colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. What you're going to do is pick a base color. In my case, I've picked red. You're going to create 1 warm analogous value scale. Notice how these colors are going towards the warm section of our color wheel. We've done red, red-orange, orange, even yellow, orange, and yellow on our final example. For your second value scale, you'll be doing a cool analogous color wheel going on the opposite direction from our base color. Notice how in the final example, I've done red, red-violet, violet, blue-violet, even going into blue. You want to be mindful as we complete our assignment today to thoroughly clean our brushes between value scales. Otherwise, if you combine both warm and cool together, you often get brown or neutral tones. We want our paintings to be vibrant, very colorful. So we're going to stay away from those neutral tones for now. So just again, be mindful. It's important to clean your brush very often in this process. After you've completed your 2 analogous value scales, you're going to complete a monochromatic value scale. Monochromatic means you have a base color, once again, in this case, red, combined with tints, colors mixed with white, and shades, colors mixed with black. Be mindful again that we don't want to have any tones, which are colors mixed with gray. Again, it's very important that we clean our brush throughout this process. Okay, now it's time to begin our value scales. We start with our base color first, again, in this case, red. Mix our warmer colors on the palette and add it to the value scale. The trick for creating a smooth transition is to have 1 brush for painting and 1 brush for blending. In my case, for my warm value scales, I've used all of the colors in my paint packet or paint set. So for my red, I'm using crimson. For my orange, I'm using vermilion. And for my yellow, I'm using a combination of both lemon and ochre. Play around with creating different colors. This is the time to experiment. Don't focus on blendings too much in this first coat. The trick for this first coat is just to kind of lay down the colors. When you add that second layer, again remember, multiple layers are necessary for consistency, that's the time to focus on blending. So again, notice that dramatic transition between yellow, orange, and yellow? I'm going to worry about that later, once I start to add that second coat. You want to have at least 6 different tints, shades, or hues in each value scale. So in this case, I have red, red-orange, orange, yellow-orange, as well as yellow. And also notice my yellow has a variety of hues in it, which is also acceptable. Okay, now it's time to move on to our cool value scale. You don't want to ever dip your brush directly into the violet. I always recommend taking a clean brush, scooping out the violet, and adding it to your palette. Just something to be mindful for. Again, thoroughly clean your brush before value scales, and repeat the process, but this time going on the opposite direction on the color wheel. Start with red, or whatever base color you choose. Then I've done red-violet, and so forth, so on. Just because I've done red in this demo video doesn't mean you have to do red. I highly want to stress that. You want to choose a color palette that fits your painting or the mood of whatever painting you're trying to convey. If you want to do a winter landscape, it would make more sense to do blue as your base color. Then you'll do blues leaning towards greens and blues leaning towards violets. It's always a good idea to have your colored pencil color wheel handy just to double check what color comes next. Again, focus on getting those colors down first for that first layer, then focus on blending in the second layer. For our final value scale, we're going to do the monochromatic. Remember, shades are colors mixed with black. Tints are colors mixed with white. Be careful of that black. It is very strong. It's much easier to create tints than shades. And there we have our 3 value scales. The final step is just touch-ups, again to create that smooth transition of values. What I'm looking for is 6 tints or shades in each value scale and a smooth transition with consistent coats. Good luck, and let me know if you have any questions.